Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we are in the bodywork phase of the 77 Chevelle Malibu Classic Build. Going down the home stretch. Pretty much swapped all the body parts over from a parts car with new quarter panels. Last episode we did the fix the dents and the used parts. This door and fender, a little bit on the new quarter where I welded it together, and then this door and fender. So this bodywork is done, but it needs final blocking and sanding with 180 grit, and then reprimed, and then it'll be ready to just sand down with 32400 and paint. So we got to we'll put on some guide coat for effect. I don't use it that often because I can see real good. I can see where the scratches and pinholes are. This just some cheap Walmart paint. It was on sale for $2. I bought a bunch of cans of it. So we'll use this as a guide coat. And you don't put on too much, just kind of mist it on there. You're not painting it, you're just now. This is 2-part primer. I kind of went over the primer in the last video. I'd buy that what is it, speed coat 2-part epoxy, or 2-part primer anyway. Comes with hardener, and it takes a while to dry. It's not like regular primer. It's not just gonna dry real quick and you can sand it in an hour or even the next day. This is gonna take a few days to dry real good. If it ain't dry, it'll gum up the sandpaper. I don't know if I threw out all the sandpaper. Anyway, so I'll probably do this side too. So whenever this, I just did this last night, so we're gonna let it dry for a couple days and block her down and reprime it. That'll have to dry for a couple of days before we can paint it. Okay, so this is, you know, this ain't production type stuff where you do everything in one day type stuff. Okay, so this episode we are going to, we're going to strip and prime the top surfaces. These are all parts from the parts car: trunk, roof, and hood, which is here. I need to get that hood on, but I most likely need a hand putting it on. Okay, so we want to strip this stuff down to the metal. You can see it, to me it looks like factory, but you know, I'm not quite sure whether they just did a cheap paint job over top, but it looks like factory to me. And this roof is there's a lot of rust, surface rust starting. Mostly all this will sand out, and we'll use some rust neutralizer after it's all sanded down real good, and we can prime over top of that. But we'll do this deck lid first. So what's happening is this paint is gumming up the sandpaper real bad. So you know, if it wasn't gumming up the sandpaper, I could do this in one piece of 80 grit. But now I'm probably gonna have to use about 5 pieces because it just gets so bad that it won't sand very good. Now I just wiped this down from the morning dew. Got a lot. I didn't think there was any dents in it, but there's a big dent right here. This is from people slamming the trunk lid down. I think we can just tap this around here and pop that out. There's a little crease right there I just found. And then there's a hail ding right there and right there. But other than that, it's rust free. The other deck lid was all rotted along the bottom. We went over what condition that car was in on the previous videos. So that's what we want to do. Strip her down to the metal, fix the dents, prime it. And then we'll guide coat it and sand and prime it again. Then we'll do the roof. And if I can't get a hand by that time to get that hood on there, I'll get it on there. It'll just take it'll just take some work getting it on there by myself. The easiest way would be take the hinges off, but I'll get it up there. The roof, we'll do that after the trunk. It had a big dent right here. I banged it out when I had the roof off. It'll just need a few skims of Bondo. And there are a few, there's a dent right here. If it's too big, we can use the dent puller. Last video, if you haven't seen it, I used the Vevor stud puller thing to pull the dents out of the doors. I think there was one dent right in here or something. We'll readjust this masking paper later. Okay, so let me get the DA with 80 grit and we'll start sanding that deck lid. There's many ways of straightening or stripping paint. You can do it with sandpaper. You can do it with a grinder and just grind the paint right off pretty quickly, but then you got big, you know, it's 24, 36 type grit. You're gonna have big sand gouges in it, and you'd have to really, well, of course you go over it with 80 grit after that to try to take most of that out, but you won't get it all out. It's embedded in the metal, and you got to really lay the primer on there and block it, and you got to use a lot more materials. Primer, sandpaper, prime it again to get all that out. Or you could use paint stripper, but nowadays it's very expensive to use and it doesn't work that great. It'll probably work pretty good on this because it's only one layer of paint, or you know, paint and factory primer. But we'll just do it with the 80 grit because this is the only sandpaper I usually buy it off eBay. There's my old rolls there. This is a new roll I just got. They're like 30 bucks, 100 pieces of 80 grit, and I haven't opened this. This should be the 180 grit roll of 180 grit DA paper. I got all the body tools. I got the big Bondo Buster, 8 or 9 inch, whatever it is, and I got an air file, big long file. But with all them special tools, you gotta buy all special sandpaper, and that, you know, that stuff just gets expensive. You know, the big DA paper, you know, I don't know what it is, $2 or $1 or $2 for one of them. So the same with the longboard stuff. So that's why I just use the DA paper. Use it for the DA and the block sand. You know, instead of buying the long strips of paper for this or the long air sander, let's use the DA paper like that and sand it. Because, like I said, they're only 30 bucks a roll. Much cheaper than spending hundreds of dollars on all specialty sandpaper. Might take a little while longer, but you're saving money. Okay, so that's what I use on cars, do the body work and stripping and stuff. So let me get my electric DA ready, and we'll strip that. When it comes up to sandpaper, I'll show you. I threw a bunch of it away, but you'll definitely see it. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, got my electric DA with a fresh piece of 80 grit on there, and I'll start sanding. Okay. Oh, it's not getting gummied up like the sides were. Okay. You can see you don't want to, it's not hot at all. You don't want to create heat and warp the metal. So that's why, you know, do a little area, move over, do a little area, move over, do a little different area. You don't want to build up the heat. And you can kind of see the dents here. But pretty much, yeah, there's a uppity dent there. I have to tap that down. So yeah, just move it around and keep sanding until it just hasn't gummed up. I haven't done a big area yet. And when the sandpaper gums up, I'll let you know. But it may not do it. Maybe the sun is baked. It's either, so why it would gum up would be if you had a paint job that they painted and didn't put no hardener in the paint. because the paint would never actually dry. It would dry to the touch, but you go to sand it and it just gums it up. So that's why I don't recommend using, you know, spray paint or any of that, because if you ever have to sand, you won't be able to sand it. You try to sand it and then try to paint over it again, it would all wrinkle up the new paint. So, you know, and especially if you buy that, you know, tractor paint or any paint really, and just skip buying the hardener. If you don't buy the hardener and just put the paint on there, yeah, it's gonna gum it up for the next paint job. Or if you got to repaint it, you won't ever be able to repaint it unless you strip it all down. So that's what I was thinking, because the sides were real bad on this. All this here was gumming up the sandpaper. So yeah, anyway, it was either that or they put some type of really good wax silicone sealant, something over top of this car that embedded into the paint and is making the sandpaper gum up. It really hasn't right now though, but I haven't really got into the middle of it. But anyway, let me do the rest of this deck lid and I'll be back. Okay guys, it took 3 pieces of 80 grit to get it. We're gonna go over it with 180, but I'm gonna do the Bondo work first. Like I said, this was a crease in it. Can't get to it. It was double layered there, so we're just gonna fill it in. Had to take the lock out. This was all messed up here. Looks like someone tried to pry the lock out. So I took the lock out. I could get at that through here. Just used a bar up through here, tap that out, and just hammered it around. I'm surprised that lock even stayed in there, because it's all dented up real bad. But so anyway, that's the main area. That's the main area. We got dings here, kind of a little bit of a warp there. Just kind of warpy all over, but right there, there. And all this area here at the Bondo. So they get some Bondo out. Hell, at first I didn't think there was any dents in it, but okay, I'll be back. Okay, mixed up a little body filler on the 2 big spots. You use the cheese grater body file. So when that dries, just go over it with 80 grit, then a block, and probably one more skim at the end. sprayed some little rust areas were coming through there, so I sprayed a little rust neutralizer there and into the back as much as I could, and I'll spray some paint in there too. Make sure no rust comes up. If you didn't, then rust bubbles would come up years from now. So yeah, let me spread some more Bondo and get these other dents here, and then we'll go over this with 80 in a block, and I'll be back. Okay, went over it with some 80 on my DA, and now we're just going to go over it with a block. And like I said, give her another skim after you block it down. Put another skim on it, and then I'll do these other dents here. This still got a dent right there, but block it up best we can. Might be a little bit high there. Tap that down. Tap that down, give it another skim. Okay, I'll block this down some more and I'll be back. Alright, so I got her ready to, well, I got to go over it with 180 and then prime it. But what I'm doing is, I mentioned before on a past video, it's got a button in the glove box for the electric trunk opener, and the deck lids were different, where the little deal bolts to. I gotta find it now, right here. Okay, that's off the original deck lid, and when you push the button, it moves this, see? So here's the old deck lid, and I said that the holes were, it has this big old hole here for it. So I cut this out, goes like that. So I cut that out as a template to find that hole. Okay. But, hang on. I don't know how good you can see, but basically it's this right here. All you gotta do is cut that and cut that. And then that leaves the hole. That leaves that big hole. And then you can, this bolts on the back of this. It lines up with two of the, with the holes. Lines up with that hole and that hole. See, so that little deal can move with that big hole in the way. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut this and hook it up, and then figure out which, I believe there's 2 power wires right there. One's gonna be for, which I also got, the trunk light, and then one's gonna be for the opener. So we're gonna go ahead and hook them up, and they go in here. Wires come down and come out here. So we're gonna go ahead and hook that up. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it on there. That's it there. These wires on this car were all shoved down in here. They were stuck. So I just put them on the outside. Soldered them in. Put the light right there, but I forgot to check for power to the light. Or even if it's the right one, because I think there might be some more. Might be some more wires over there, I just haven't checked. But I got the right wire for the opener. Okay, listen. Problem is, it doesn't have enough oomph to open it. But anyway, it's on there. That's all I can do. Okay, I'll be back. We'll get this deck lid, it's fixing to get dark. Get this deck lid here primed before it gets dark. I'll be back. Okay guys, it's ready to put a couple coats of primer on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, got a couple of good coats on it. 40% chance of rain tonight and tomorrow, but they've been saying that for last few days, and it hasn't rained, and then the next few days, so we'll see what happens. We'll probably get some rain at some point, but anyway, tomorrow we'll do the roof, then after that we'll do the hood. So we'll do the roof tomorrow, get it in prime hopefully by the end of the day. Okay, we'll see you then. Okay guys, next morning. Just finished raining. Not much rain, lots of thunder. Just a couple really small storm clouds came through. But I think that's it for the day. I hope it don't get too hot. It'd be perfect if it's cloudy. Okay, so I just blew off all the water on the roof, wiped it down, some paper towels. You know, you can see the water still on the deck lid and stuff. Okay, so what we want to do, same with the deck lid, we want to strip what's left of the paint, but mainly all this rust, and get her right down to shiny metal as much as we can, and then we'll spray. There'll be some little rust embedded in there, and we'll spray that with some rust neutralizer, and then fix the dents. I'll show you the dents. There's one here, one right up here in the middle here, right there, and then we got to fix that one there that I popped out earlier. Okay, so let's go to DA with a fresh piece of 80 grit. Okay, another dent right there. But as you can see, it's mostly all coming off. It's kind of hard to tell what's rust and what's that brownish primer. But okay, let me get the rest of this hood, and I'll be back and we'll go over what we need to do next. Okay guys, I got it all DA'd down with 80 grit. This is that dent I kind of pulled out when the roof was off. But yeah, she was all bowed up here, so I had to tap all this down. So yeah, this is going to get a big old skim here, but it's not that bad. Just got a couple of little dings there. Kind of a big dent here and there. This is kind of warpy right here. I think I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to bother beating that down or nothing. It's kind of up. You know, it's not no show car. This ain't a concourse restoration, guys. Two right there and there. You know, Bondo there. And then here. And here. And just really small, I think these are really small hail dents. Primer and blocking it might take that out. Other than that, this side's not too bad, I don't think. Okay, well, let me mix up some Bondo. Yeah, all this rust pretty much came out. I don't know if I should spray some rust neutralizer on there or not. It looks pretty good, but okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, spread a little Bondo and use the cheese grater to break it down a little bit. And break that dried a little too fast for me to break it down. And anyway, yeah, these are just a little teeny hail dents. Okay, I'll be back. Well, a big old rain cloud came over and it's raining out a little bit, just enough to screw up my work. Hopefully it'll stop and I can wipe it off real quick before the rust starts again. But anyway, got all the areas there skimmed, and whenever the rain stops, I'll get at it and sand it some more and block her down and get her ready to prime. So I'll be back. Okay guys, it stopped raining. This thing is hot as a frying pan. But yeah, you can see where the rust, where the old rust was, even though I sanded it off, it's still under there. So I'm going to sand it off and spray it with the rust neutralizer. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, sanded it all down. Sprayed some rust treatment on that rust. Got it all sanded with 180. So we're ready to prime it. Over here. These were the two worst spots. That one and this one up here. Still a little bit warped high spot or something there and there. And I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, let me put a couple coats of primer on it and I'll be back. Okay, guys, got 2 coats of primer on that. The gun isn't spraying that great, but that's alright. We'll switch guns when we paint it. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll get that hood on somehow and we'll strip that and fix the dents on that. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay guys, I'll give you some updates here. I sanded down this side, 180 grit, block sanded it all, and reprimed it. Put that quarter chrome on there, so now it's got all the chrome along the bottom. I got the gun to spray a little bit better and the primer better by using reducer to thin the primer instead of thinner. That thinner was actually making it thicker, clogging up the spray gun. Never had that problem before with primer, but apparently with this speed coat primer, you gotta use a reducer. Okay, so this side is done. This needs to be sanded and painted. Okay, so we got to do this side here. I was actually going to save all this sanding for next video, which we might, because I can't get the hood on by myself easily, so been doing other stuff. Okay, this rear plastic piece, I meant to bring it out. Remnants of it are right here, was in the trunk. It's all screwed up. People say, oh yeah, get a flat piece of lawn edging or whatever. Now it's actually goes down, then up, then in. So it's like three things. If you're trying to put a flat piece in there, it won't look right. It'll look just shitty. So I was out in the yard trying to match it up with some rubber bumper that I could cut it out and all that, but this is the piece there out of the 84 Chevy pickup parts truck I got, and this goes in between the bumper and the grill along the bottom. So that's what I was doing yesterday. It actually fits pretty good. Now there's 3 screws underneath here that it mounts to. So I got them marked with the masking tape so I could drill the holes in this. You know, it's metal. So it goes across and then down, down, then up, across. So you couldn't put the whole thing in there. So I had to cut it in 2 pieces. So I got the screws in there. There was 3 screws there. I don't know about underneath here, whether it was, what's holding it there. But anyway, I cut that piece and put that in there. I'm going to cut the other piece, put it in here, and then figure out something for this middle. But that's what I got so far. I'll have to fill these holes here and put the other side on, figure out a middle, then paint it, and then bolt it on there. So that's kind of what I was doing yesterday. I'm going to try to finish that up right now, and then we'll move on to either sanding the other side or getting the hood over here on some tires and maybe just doing the body work off the car. For now, I just haven't had anybody over in the last few days to buy parts or anything that I could ask a hand to get it on the car. But I could get it off, like I said, by taking the hinges off and putting some blankets and sliding it up and all that stuff. But I don't want to take a chance. I got this thing right here. I guess I could take it off, but I didn't want to put the hood up and break that. You know, take a chance on the windshield. So anyway, let me figure out this this back filler piece, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the 3 pieces cut out. I don't think I can put them all together and then mount it in there all at once. So what I'm going to do is put these two in there, and then this will go actually on the bottom. It'll go underneath. Wrong way. Anyway, it'll slide in there like that. Then I'm just going to put a couple of rivets in there. It'll look pretty good, but like I said, I'm not going to weld this in there and grind it all and all that, because I don't think I can get that in there without, you know, taking out the bumper and all that. I could do it, but anyway, I got the holes filled. Gonna sand her down, paint it all black, and then mount it in there. So I'll be back. Okay guys, there's the 3 pieces. I just used a spray can on that. Something to keep an eye on. Like I said, I never recommend painting a car with spray cans, but this will be a little experiment. See how long it lasts type thing. But anyway, this is the big hole we're about to fill, and we'll see how much better it looks. I said it's tough to make one, and to buy one, found that one company that makes them $109 plus $85 to ship it or something, $83 to ship it. So basically 200 bucks. So we're saving 200 bucks by making this. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it in there. I'd cut that wrong to begin with, so that's got a diagonal cut. No, it's got a straight cut, but oh well. Just put a couple of rivets in each one there in the middle. But I think it looks pretty good. Better than a big hole there. Okay, I'll be back. I don't know if I want to try to move that hood over here and strip it off the ground, or start sanding on this side. Sand all this and prime it, but probably should do the hood first. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, got the hood over here. I'd rather have it on the car and do this, but oh well, we'll give her a shot. As you can see, a lot of surface rust coming up underneath the paint. We'll see how easy it sands. Not bad. Okay, that's a used piece of 80 grit on there. Okay, where were those dents? I'll show you where those. Oh, right here. There's a big one. I kind of popped it out from the back as best I could. It's kind of hard with the brace there, but there was a little hole, and it's probably popped up too far. Anyway, right there. Right here. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was, but little one there. Oh, 2 right there. Yeah, raw on here. Here. Little one there. Not bad overall. Okay, let me start sanding on it and I'll be back. Okay guys, it's stripping pretty good. It's gonna get dark here in a little bit, so I think what I'm gonna do is end this video. I wanted to get this done and in primer by the end of the video, but instead we did that rear piece. So next video we'll get this done, and then what we'll do is start sanding the sides. We'll get this side sanded and primed, then start with the deck lid, the roof, and then the hood. The hood's got to dry for a couple days, so that'll be last. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find something for these bumper guards. These little black, that one's on there, but see there's missing one there and one on the front. I don't know if anybody makes them, but this one here is kind of, see, it's loose, about to fall off. I'll see if I can find something in my yard and put on there. If not, I don't think anybody's gonna make them. Most they'll do is sell the whole bumper guard set, which I don't need. Just need the black on it. So that's something to I gotta think of here. Just little stuff. I'm just thinking about all the little stuff now because we're almost done, ready for paint. Well, the paint's gonna be just all the silver first. Then we gotta let it sit for a while and then mask the silver stripes off, and then paint the rest of it black. But yeah, it's coming along. The side's ready to paint. Okay, Nikki, how you doing, girl? People been asking about Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? Nikki's my blind dog, if you're new. And I keep her in the pen because she'll bump into stuff. She's been, vet said she had an ear infection. She kept favoring this ear. So I took her down to the vet the other day and got some ointment and stuff for her. And I don't think it's helping though. I think it's because she's laying down in the dirt and something's getting in her ears, but I can't figure out what it is. I can't see nothing down there. But anyway, she likes it in her pen. She prefers the inside in the house. She's a great inside house dog. But she just can't be loose around here. If she does, she'll just sleep underneath a truck or something all day long. And I'd rather have her in this pen. She can hear me. She, you know, hear me working. I talk to her and stuff. But anyway, she's doing good. I got a couple of cats around here, but I got rid of 4 of them. So it was too much. They were standing, one of them had kittens. 2 of them came over and ate them. They stand in front of Nikki when she walks around. They don't move. Nikki sometimes walks right into them, then they get up and hiss and go to scratch her. So it's getting to be a real pain in the ass. Plus they're just, you know how they were. So I got rid of 4 of them. They're gone to a new home. But there's still a couple around. Hopefully they'll get the rats and mice and stuff. But there's, you know, 3 or 4 that live over here in this area here. I see them every now and then. And lots more wildlife now. I got oh shit, there's raccoons living in that mobile home over there, which my brother's been using as storage. We're in there loading up stuff there a while back, and a little baby raccoon, probably a couple of months old, fell through the ceiling. Well, almost, he caught himself. So there's a family of raccoons in there. There's rabbits running around. When I first moved in here, there was road runners, a whole family of them. They're all tall, short. They used to walk around here. And I think somebody that used to live here said they used to feed them. So that's why they come around. But Puppy ran them off, and they hadn't been around for years. And now they've come back. Just all kinds of, in the past there's been possums, and I think there was an armadillo at one time that Puppy ran off. But see, Nikki, she can't see and she can't run anything off, so. But anyway, that's just the updates on that stuff. I said we'll get back to the van here probably when I paint the silver on this. I want to let it dry real good, like a week or two. So during that time, I think we'll get back to the Scooby-Doo van and get the mechanical stuff sorted out. It's got an oil leak, water leak. Somebody, like I mentioned in the other video, somebody sent me a pair of windows. We'll put them in. If anybody wants to send anything, I got a P.O. box in the description. You can send whatever you want. Just probably let me know before I buy it. But anyway, I keep meaning to message Art. I want to send him the picture of with the roof cut off and say, here's your car, and see what he says. But anyway, I'll message him and send him some pictures and tell him the videos are on YouTube. Go watch them. Watch your car get restored. What else? I think that's probably about it, guys. The weather's been kind of cloudy and supposed to be late 80s, early 90s here for the next week. Well, actually, in 3 or 4 days, it's going to get up to about 94, 95 again. But for the last week, it's been pretty good, other than little spots of rain. So I've been getting, quite a bit done. But better than, 100 degrees every day and just bright and sunny. I like bright and sunny in the winter, not so much in the summer, right in the middle of summer when it's 100 degrees out. But anyway, I got stuff also to think about, whether I want to buy headers, 4-barrel intake, I mentioned that before. I'd like to soup it up a little bit there, but I don't know if I want to buy all the exhaust and route that. Most of the exhaust is new on there, going all the way back, except for up here, something's leaking on the manifolds. That has to come apart anyway. So anyway, enough rambling. Got quite a bit done. All this stripping and stuff takes a while. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, share, and all that stuff. And we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.